get to that in a second, but here we are, right here. Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier named the 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game Team Captains. Clark earns her second All-Star selection, Collier her fifth. Both players are All-Star captains for the first time. The remaining 8 starters to be revealed Monday, June 30th on ESPN. So that's
the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game captain selections have revealed unprecedented fan engagement levels, with 2 players demonstrating significantly elevated popularity compared to their league counterparts. The voting results showcase dramatic shifts in audience participation since previous seasons. Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier have been designated as team captains for the upcoming AT&T WNBA All-Star Game scheduled for July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The contest will broadcast across multiple platforms including ABC, Disney+, and ESPN+, providing extensive coverage of the marquee event.
This year, we came into the season, the media tried to put Angel Reese amongst the best players again, and then she promptly went out and stunk it up. All right, and stunk it up. Now, she's had a couple of good games as of late, but every time she has a good game, she has a horrific game. And her field goal percentage is down this year. And imagine I just said that. Her field goal percentage.
Clark secured her second consecutive All-Star selection, while Collier earned her 5th career nomination. Both athletes will serve as team captains for the inaugural time in their respective careers, marking a significant milestone in their professional development. The captain positions were determined through fan voting totals, with Clark accumulating an extraordinary 1,526 votes compared to Collier's impressive 1,076,020 ballots. This margin represents over 100,000 additional votes for Clark, despite both players achieving remarkable participation numbers.
Tomorrow, WNBA head coaches to select All-Star reserves. Guys, I've got to wonder out loud, does Angel Reese make this team? Wow, you got to wonder. You got to wonder, is she actually going to make this team? So here we go right here. The 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game will be played at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
These figures become particularly striking when compared to historical voting patterns. During the 2023 season, prior to Clark's professional debut, A'ja Wilson received the highest fan support with 95,860 votes. The combined voting total for the top 30 players that year reached approximately 1,071,000 ballots. The dramatic increase demonstrates that Clark individually surpassed the entire top tier of players from just 2 seasons prior. Similarly, Collier's individual vote count exceeded the collective total of 30 leading players from the pre-Clark era, illustrating the transformative impact on fan engagement.
Percentage has dropped this year versus last year. That's right, she's a worse shooter. And her rebounds are good, but they're down from last year. And we have 3 different sports media figures that have released their All-Star ballots, and Angel Reese is nowhere to be seen. She's not involved. And we saw
Clark's statistical performance this season includes averaging 18.2 points per game alongside a career-high 8.9 assists per contest, a figure that ties for the league lead. Her playmaking abilities have become a defining characteristic of her professional development. Collier currently leads the WNBA in scoring with a career-best 24.5 points per game while contributing 8.4 rebounds per contest, ranking 4th league-wide. Her exceptional performance has guided the Minnesota Lynx to an outstanding 13-2 record, establishing them as the league's premier team. The voting surge reflects broader changes in WNBA popularity and media attention. Clark previously acknowledged the potential for record-breaking participation during initial voting announcements, expressing satisfaction with increased engagement across all player categories.
House in Indianapolis, home of the Fever, on July 19th on ABC, Disney+, and ESPN+. Clark and Collier earned the role of captains by virtue of being the 2 All-Star starters who received the most fan votes. Caitlin Clark received 1,200,000 293,526 votes. Collier received 1,176,000.
Clark emphasized the importance of fan involvement in all-star selection processes, noting that meaningful participation encourages continued growth. She highlighted how voter engagement creates lasting connections between supporters and league personalities beyond individual favorite players. Despite impressive individual statistics, Clark's team performance has faced challenges throughout the season. The Indiana Fever's struggles have created frustration among supporters who expected more competitive success given the roster talent and organizational resources. Coaching decisions and strategic implementation have drawn particular scrutiny from observers who question whether Clark receives optimal support for maximizing her impact. These concerns persist despite her individual excellence and statistical achievements.
From the popularity voting, remember, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark, it was me too. Angel was 13th in the All-Star voting. Well, everything I've been told, she should have been at least second. She, not only was she not second, she was basically 3 times the amount of votes behind Caitlin Clark. So let's check this out.
The voting disparity between Clark and other established stars like Aja Wilson extends beyond all-star ballots to television viewership patterns. Games featuring Clark consistently draw larger audiences, sometimes reaching 2 million viewers compared to 450,000 for contests without her participation. This popularity gap demonstrates Clark's unique appeal transcends typical basketball metrics or competitive achievements. Her ability to attract casual viewers and maintain sustained interest represents unprecedented marketing value for the league. Collier's strong voting performance may reflect growing recognition of her exceptional abilities and consistent excellence. Some observers interpret her support as commentary on league hierarchy and acknowledgement of elite talent beyond mainstream attention.
20 votes. Wow. That's a hell of a lot of votes. It is. And Caitlin still beat her by over 100,000 votes. Caitlin Clark is averaging 18.2 points a game and a career high 8.9 assists per game. Collier is number 1 in the WNBA in scoring with a career high 24.5 points per game. 4th in rebounding at 8.4 rebounds per game while guiding the Lynx.
The MVP conversation has become increasingly complex due to Clark's recent injury absence. Collier's combination of individual statistics and team success positions her as a leading candidate, particularly if Clark misses additional contests. For Clark to maintain MVP consideration, she would need exceptional performance upon returning from injury. This scenario would require sustained excellence despite potential coaching limitations and strategic constraints affecting team performance. The upcoming All-Star draft process will generate significant attention as Clark exercises captain privileges in team selection. Her choices will likely create substantial social media discussion and analysis regarding player relationships and competitive dynamics.
Right here, this is her current year stats right here. 11.3 points and 11.9 boards and a 38.5% shooter at 6'3". She shot 50% on the 24th when Chicago played. 17 rebounds, 18 points. But the very game before that, 3 of 11.
Speculation about draft selections may intensify existing tensions within league circles, as omissions could be interpreted as personal statements rather than strategic decisions. This dynamic adds complexity to what should be celebratory proceedings. The remaining 8 starting positions will be announced through ESPN coverage, providing additional opportunities for fan engagement and discussion. Reserve selections will be determined by head coaches rather than fan voting, creating different evaluation criteria. Questions remain about certain players' all-star inclusion, particularly given the elevated competition levels and limited roster spots. Traditional selections may face challenges from emerging talents and shifting performance standards. The Indianapolis hosting opportunity represents significant recognition for the Fever organization and Clark's impact on league visibility. The event provides a platform for showcasing WNBA talent while capitalizing on unprecedented fan interest levels.
To a league best 13-2 record. So I got to tell you, right off the bat, it gives me the feeling I don't know. I've got to wonder. I've got to wonder if Angel Reese is going to end up making this squad. That would be wild if she doesn't. I mean, honestly. In 2020,
These developments illustrate how individual players can transform entire league dynamics through exceptional talent and marketability. The voting results confirm that WNBA popularity has reached new heights while creating elevated expectations for continued growth and engagement. Recent revelations regarding WNBA All-Star voting patterns have exposed a significant shift in media perspectives concerning Angel Reese's standing among elite players. Multiple sports media representatives have published their official ballots, notably excluding Reese from their selections despite previous season narratives suggesting her prominence within the league. The contrast between current media assessments and previous promotional efforts represents a marked departure from last year's coverage approach. Media outlets previously engaged in extensive advocacy for Reese's recognition, particularly during rookie award discussions that positioned her as competitive with other standout performers despite statistical disparities.
27% shooting. Before that, she only had one field goal the game before that. So it's been very up and down. All of her numbers, she's over 2 points a game behind last year, and basically a little over a rebound a game down, and that's supposed to be her strong suit. People are catching on, folks.
Current season performance metrics reveal concerning trends in Reese's offensive production and overall efficiency. Her field goal percentage has declined compared to previous year standards, while rebounding numbers, traditionally considered her strongest attribute, have also decreased. These statistical regressions contradict expectations for second-year player development. Reese's current averages show 11.3 points and 11.9 rebounds per game, while shooting 38.2% from the field. These numbers reflect drops in both scoring and rebounding compared to rookie season performance. For a player of her physical stature and position, such shooting percentages raise questions about fundamental skill development and training methodologies.
3, get this, guys. In 2023, the year before Caitlin Clark's arrival, A'ja Wilson received the most fan votes with 95,860 votes. The top 30 players had combined for 1,171,000 votes. Wow. Fewer than Caitlin Clark or Collier got by themselves this.
Recent game performances demonstrate extreme inconsistency that characterizes her overall season trajectory. Following strong outings featuring double-digit rebounds and improved scoring, Reese frequently experiences significant shooting struggles with field goal percentages dropping to concerning levels. This pattern of alternating performance quality has become a defining characteristic of her current season. Fan voting results provide additional context for media ballot decisions, with Reese finishing 13th in initial popularity rankings. This placement falls significantly short of expectations established by previous media narratives suggesting her status among the league's most recognizable players. The gap between projected and actual fan support indicates disconnect between promotional efforts and genuine audience engagement.
People are catching on. Her fans can't defend the play anymore. And I guess members of the media are starting to give up. They're starting to give up. So right here, the All-Star voting. This is Sports Illustrated right here. And how this is broken down, the 10 All-Stars are selected by a weighted vote. 50% from the fans, 25% from the media, and 20%.
All-star selection processes utilize weighted voting systems incorporating fan preferences, media evaluations, and current player input. Each component carries specific percentage values, with fans contributing 50% of the total while media and players each provide. Reserve selections remain entirely under head coach discretion, creating alternative pathways for borderline candidates.
Time around. Wow. That's Caitlin Clark. That's the Caitlin Clark phenomenon right there. That is a perfect example. The year before she showed up, all the way to what? Basically 13 times the amount of votes, because she almost got 1.3 million. Quote, it seems like it's going to certainly
Emma Beccari's Sports Illustrated ballot exemplifies the media trend of excluding Reese from consideration. Her backcourt selections include Caitlin Clark, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Alicia Gray, and Sabrina Ionescu, while frontcourt choices feature Aaliyah Boston, Napheesa Collier, Nneka Ogwumike, Brianna Stewart, and Aja Wilson. Honorable mentions list several players without including Reese among potential alternatives.
25% from current players. The 12 reserves will then be chosen by the current head coaches. And it is trending in the direction that if Angel Reese wants to be an all-star, the coaches are going to have to put her on. She's not going to be a starter. All right, so Emma Beccari, I guess. I don't know. I probably screwed that name up. But she revealed her backcourt 4 players, Caitlin Clark, Skylar Diggins, Alicia Gray, Sabrina.
Claire Brennan's selections mirror these choices with identical player preferences across both backcourt and frontcourt positions. The consistency between different media representatives suggests coordinated evaluation criteria rather than individual bias. These parallel selections indicate broader consensus regarding player hierarchy and all-star worthiness.
It's certainly going to set some sort of a record for the amount of votes cast compared to last year. If I'm not mistaken, Caitlin Clark said earlier this month, when the first round of voting returns were released. I feel like we're on track for that, which just shows how much engagement we're driving across the league for all different sorts of players. That's exactly what the league needs, is people excited about that stuff and wanting to be involved and feeling like their vote really counts, feeling like they can make it.
Additional media ballots continue this exclusion pattern, with Reese failing to appear among starter selections or reserve considerations. Megan Hall of USA Today represents a third media voice, omitting Reese from her official ballot, further establishing the trend across different publications and perspectives.
Ionescu, and her honorable mentions were Kelsey Mitchell, Brittany Sykes, Paige Beckers, and Kelsey Plum. Claire Brennan, Caitlin Clark, Skylar Diggins, Alicia Gray, and Sabrina Ionescu. And the front court players, Boston, Napheesa Collier, Nneka, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, and Aja Wilson. All right. And down.
The voting methodology requires careful consideration of various factors including individual statistics, team success, and overall impact on league competition. Media representatives must balance personal performance metrics against broader contributions to team success and league visibility. These complex evaluations often produce surprising results that contradict popular assumptions.